All right. Well, hello, everybody. I'm going to be checking to make sure this is all working. This is my first live stream. So while everyone is here joining, my name is Sterling. I am a senior developer advocate at Postman. And today we're going to build cool stuff. That's kind of the plan. This is a 2 hour in conjunction with Postman's hackathon that's going on. You'll see me share things on the screen here and there. But before I do, I am going to quickly check that the stream is working. If the stream is working, would someone say hi in the chat? That way I can at least see that I've never done a live stream. I'm doing this on my own. So this is a one-man show today. So I don't have a team of amazing people behind me. It's just little old me. So let's see. I'm gonna go to YouTube real quick. I just want to make sure. Okay, everybody. Hello. After a little bit of technical difficulties, it looks like I've got my live stream working on LinkedIn, and I am still live on YouTube. So this is fantastic. I'm just going to open up and just double check everything is still working. All right. Well, hello again, everybody. I'll restart my introduction to this. My name is Sterling. I am a senior developer advocate here at Postman. Today is the first of a series of live streams that I want to start to do, based on what people like, or if you like it or not. I've been contemplating doing this, which is a Build with Sterling series, where I just build stuff, and you're going to be here with me on in all of its glory, all the mistakes, all of the problems, all of the mess ups, and then all of the wins. So we're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna keep this live stream here on this screen, but I'll be sharing primarily my large screen here. And so I'd love to, So I'll keep trying to keep going back and forth and answering questions. If you have any questions, please feel free. I do have in the top right or top left of the screen, you'll see or my socials QR code. That'll just take you to sterlingchin.com, where you can find me on all the socials. LinkedIn. Well, most of you are coming from LinkedIn, so that's okay. And then all of a sudden, obviously, X, Blue Sky, as well as my Substack, where I'm starting to do a lot more writing for myself, and my thoughts on AI. So let's dig into this. So today, let me switch over to this and share my screen. All right. Okay, cool. Oh, this is working. Oh, I like this. All right. So today we're doing. So Postman did we were part of the CodeTV. So if you haven't seen it, the Web Dev Challenge on CodeTV, one of my favorite new series. We were lucky enough to sponsor our second episode, and this is in conjunction with the second episode, which is build an app that's personal to you. That's really open-ended hackathon. For those who are also interested, let me add the QR code to the hackathon. You should be able to see that popping up. That'll take you to the Postman community where we're doing it. I am not eligible to win, so and don't take any of this. Don't take any of this as my for yourself. If I see someone else come up with this tracker, then I'll just immediately disqualify you. Anyways, not that mean, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so on the screen, I been thinking a lot about this. A lot of this started with last week. My son, who's in 6th grade, has been trying to keep up with all of his homework. Now, if you're in the U.S. and you're going to middle school, this is the first time you're out of elementary school where you have one teacher or only or a couple teachers, and you have now many teachers. So in my case, my son has 7 teachers, and he's been trying to keep everything up to date, keep track of all the homework that's necessary. And so him and I went on a walk, and we were talking about, okay, hey, let's build, what if I build something? What if we build something together? And we came up with a homework tracker for him. And so I'm going to share that real quick. Let me come over here. So here's the homework tracker. Obviously, the names on here have been anonymized. These are not his actual teachers' names; they're just random names. But what he can do here, and this is the homework tracker. This is running locally right now. Is he can add homework. So let's say he's going to science and he's got a lab he needs to do, lab worksheet. And now that lab worksheet is here. He can go in and take a picture of it to confirm that it's been done, and he can mark it off. The other cool part that we're trying to work on is recurring homework. So there's a couple classes he has recurring homework. And so we built this so he can go in, he can say, okay, math every day. He's got math worksheets. And now that it's there, you'll see it pops up here in the math worksheet. And if I were to go to tomorrow, it shows math worksheets, but his new science homework from labs today isn't on tomorrow's. So this is built with. So I built this entirely vibe coding using Claude Code, and I ended up shipping this to production with Vercel and Railway. It's a new technology. It's a SQL backend that I'm not familiar with, but it live using Claude Code, it actually worked out really well. So let me open the chat again just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Looks like I've got a few. Oh, Bruno! Holy cow, Bruno! It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here. And Brittany, I've got some great people. I do know of Mackenzie and Quentin and Debo. Those are some amazing postmanauts that I get to work with. Hi, Paula. Thank you for saying we're gonna cook. I appreciated the gift, not the gift, but the little image. At some point, I do want to do a cooking show, just because I love to cook. And Paula, let's see, no, who else? LinkedIn user. I don't know who that LinkedIn user is. So we'll just continue going. All right. Anyways, so when I vibe coded this last week with my son, and he started using it, and it's working. This is shipped to production. Shipping to Vercel has been fantastic. Only because not only because it's because I have a repo and I can just connect it to the repo, and anytime I ship to main or push to main, it works. So this was the idea here. And so when I started thinking about the Postman hackathon, let me come back over here. I started to do this is everything running locally, by the way. So I'm running this in Cursor. Claude Code is running in this terminal right here. I've got the front end running here and the back end running here. So you can see I've been actually working with Claude Code this morning. Let's kill this. We don't need this anymore. We are going to just kill that cursor, and we're going to open up this one. So my idea here, let's put this on the side and make it look a little bit nicer. I write everything in Markdown. So just as a heads up, if you have any problems, Brittany, vibe coding with Claude in something like Cursor, Windsurf, or Claude Code interface. So I vibe code. The funny thing is, I'm still a developer at my core. So I prefer to even though I know, I mean, I really like Cloud Code and I can just let it do its thing. I like to see what's happening. So I end up using Cursor just so I can see all of the things on, like, I can see the file system being built. And then as it's going, I open up Cloud Code in the terminal down below. So, anyways, here's the plan for today. We're gonna make a family chore chart and a rewards tracker. I did use Kurt or Claude, uh, the desktop app, Claude. Let's see, I think this was 4.1 Sonnet to help me kind of talk this through. But here's the project overview of what I want to do. Is I want to do a gamified chore management system that makes household responsibilities fun for kids, while parents, myself, have oversight and control. I am going to be adding quite a few AI features, so real-time streaming responses and a points-based reward system. The target audience in this case is me, but I have kids between 5 and 16, and I just want to make sure that everything is working, that they get their chores done. Tech architecture, and then that's it. This is all I'm trying to do. I didn't want to, Cursor or Claude came out and said, "Oh, well, here's how you should do all of this, and here's what we can do." No, no, no. We're gonna do this live, in person, right here. We're gonna make it break. We're gonna ship it to production, and hope this all works out. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do in this is I'm going to zoom out. Let me make sure I can see all that. So you can still see the rewards tracker on the screen. But in this case, I'm in my demos folder. And I mean, at this point, I know what I want to do, but I don't have an idea of, I'm a front end engineer, but I'm not really good unless I have a great designer behind my back, helping me come up with the designs. But we're going to let AI do all of that today. So here we go. I'm going to start up Claude Code. All right. And just so we can start, you can see I've got Claude Code working. And a couple tools that I am using on top of it is I do have a talk to text, which is called Mac Whisperer. Let me hide that. It's called Mac Whisperer. It is amazing at what it does. This is I am no way sponsored by them. I'm using their free version. It works for my needs. What it does is what I find with typical talk to text like Siri or even Google on my on my Pixel when I'm using talk to text on there. It's not really good at picking up technical jargon. And that's a frustration for me. That's a frustration for a lot of other people. And so in this case, Mac Whisper is just a hotkey on my computer, on my keyboard, and I can just talk into all of this. I can talk into here, and it's really good at capturing all of the technical jargon that I'm doing. So you're going to hear me actually just talk through this while I'm talking to Claude Code. So today I have a family chore chart and rewards tracker here, and I want to build an entire app around it. Let's see, I want to also make sure I'm using the real mic. If there's any problems with the mic, please let me know. Yeah, Brittany, exactly. Like I don't trust AI as far as I can throw it. I guess I could throw, I don't know. I don't know where the LLMs, like where the server farms are that have all of it. But yeah, I like seeing what's happening. So I said, today I have a family chore chart and rewards tracker here. I want to build an entire app around it. I have the spec of what I'm trying to do, but I haven't really thought about the architecture in terms of the technology that I'd like to use and that I'm comfortable with. I would like to use React with TypeScript. I am going to be using Vercel to ship this to production. And in terms of a backend, I've used Railway in the past, so I'm comfortable with like an SQL style backend, but I do need to put pictures in here where my kids can take a picture of the chore completed, and it can then be uploaded to the system. And you see what happens down there. See how it's saying it's like picking up the SQL style backend. I mean, it's picking, like, the thing I like about Mac Whisper is that it picks it up. So this is a shout out to the Mac Whisper team. I like it. I think it's fantastic. So let's just start off here and let's just hit enter and see what happens. Oh, actually, please create a new folder that the entire project will live under, and then we'll break it up into a front end and back end. Okay, I'm just gonna let it go. Bruno, yes, it will be recorded. It's again, it's so good to see you, my friend. For those, Bruno and I used to work at company a long time ago, and it's good to see you again. Yeah, this will be shared. It is being recorded on YouTube, and I will put it out on. It'll be on YouTube eventually, so probably at the end of the day. Okay, so cool. I don't want it to ask it again during this, so I always just say yes for the rest of it. I just let it go. And if you see me, by the way, reach over here. Um, it gets a little warm up in the loft where I sit, so I have a fan right here. But then it gets cold enough that I actually get cold. Like, the fan is, even on low, is powerful enough. Anyways, I'm just talking crap. Let's see. I hope this music works. I was trying some music yesterday. I built some AI music. Is that working? Can someone tell me if you're on the stream? Can you tell me if you can hear the music? All right. So it looks like it's gonna take a minute. Install command. Yep. I'm just gonna. I mean, I know what's happening under the hood, so I'm. It's not that I blindly trust this, but I trust it enough that I've done this enough times that I know what's happening. And it's big. I mean, this is what I like to see, right? This is one of the things that I loved about vibe coding, and one of the things I've loved about getting back into code. Like, I've written code a lot for a long time. Like, I was a software engineer. I've been at Overstock.com. I was at small startups. I was at one out of Utah called Podium. That's where I know Bruno from. Shout out to all of my former people above the bike shop. That's an inside joke. One of the things that's, like, I've hated about doing side projects is the scaffolding. And for a lot of us, we've had our templates, right? We've had our blank project sitting in GitHub somewhere, where it's just like, if I need to start up a fresh React app, I could really just quickly go and set it up. But this vibe coding has allowed me to do more quicker, and it's allowed me to really set up a new, like, try new SDKs, try new technologies that I'm not familiar with, but I can understand enough, right? It's like I'm learning Python through code, or through vibe coding. Okay, so it looks like it's got a lot of it done. Let's just really quickly. So perfect. I've created a family core tracker, project structure with this. All right, front end. Okay, React. We're going to use Vite. Ready for Frizzell deployment. Back end, Railway ready. Express server with TypeScript. Image upload middleware. Oh, okay. Core is the middleware software. Okay. And because I do want to try the new or try Vercel's AI SDK and all of this today for some of the AI stuff. We'll see what we can do, and then I'm going to build some MCP servers for music. By the way, that it's not on the project spec. I had spec this out earlier. That one of the other things I would like to do is be able to connect to Spotify, and my kids both have like their favorite. They make their own um, playlists, and so whenever something goes, I'd like to have if it's for my oldest son, I'd love it to. I want the AI to go out, find one of his favorite clips or one of his favorite like from a specific playlist, find a song and just play like a 10-second clip of it. So we're gonna try that. All right. Wow, we're already 25 minutes into the live stream. That's crazy. All right, next step: set up your web database, configure environments. Would you like help, or would you like me to help with any specific part next, such as database schema? Yes. Actually, I'll use talk to text. Yes. Can you help put together the schema, as well as I'd like to create an open API spec that for all of the endpoints that I'm going to need. That way I can keep track of everything. So you see, I said it didn't do the full open API spec, but it did get it. Cool. Paula, do we know how the image middleware is configured? Any guardrails in place for uploads? At this point, not yet. That is typically when I'm building stuff. It's my second or third, down the line. First, I just want to make sure that it's working, and then I start to add other guardrails. Because I'm running this all just locally on my machine, I'm not as concerned about it going out. So this is pretty quick, or that's how I typically test. I typically go about adding middleware or adding guardrails after the fact. So it's like I can only add one picture, things like that. Yeah, great question. This is fun. Wait, can I? That reminds me. I think. Hey, I'm learning this. I'm learning all of this. This is fun. I guess, yeah, Paula, I can put your comment on the screen. So for those who are that way, you can see it. Oh, that's fantastic. Um, very, very cool. All right, so it's making the Open API spec. There it is. It's writing it right now. Again, this is one of the things I like having is I like having the sidebar open so I can see what's being built. And eventually what I'll end up doing is I'm going to split this into 3. And what at that point I'll have Cloud Code on one side, the front end on one, and then the back end on another. So I'll do it like this. So then let's CD into family. Let's go to front end. That was what it is, front end. And here we'll CD into back end. Cool. If anyone has questions about my setup, or if you're interested in, learning more about, what I do or my processes, feel free to ask. This is a opportunity to just talk and learn. And so if you have opinions, also, what am I doing wrong? Feel free to tell me. One of the things that I am looking for is, so I posted on this up here right now. I'm putting together a developer survey. I'm trying to understand how people are using AI for themselves. When you're a software engineer, more specifically developers, software engineers, what are you doing? Where does AI fit into your workflows? How many of you, there's a question in there. How many of you are limited to what you can use at work versus You use other things on the side on your personal projects that are affecting, what do you use? So if you wouldn't mind, I'd love people to take that developer survey. Shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Very open-ended questions. I'd love to get some responses there. All right, let's go. Appreciate all the people. I appreciate the love. Quentin, who recently joined our team, he's talking about Klein for the win. I have not yet tried Klein. I've been in and around it, but I have not yet tried it. So maybe what I'll do is one of the next live streams is you'll see me just set up Klein and try it on my own for the first time. I mean, really, truly, I think the purpose of this the purpose of this is just to build something and try new things and see me fail and see me learn with everyone. All right, so it's still creating, and I like it. I wish it was a little faster, but that's okay. So it's updating the package JSON. Let's see what it's doing. Oh, so that's database migrations. Cool. All right, so is the front end good to go? Do we need to spec out what it should look like? Now, if this is me just writing code for myself, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to just check to see what's actually happening in here and look at index.html, see what's going on. We've got root, access to the app.tx or tsx. So it looks like we've got something. It doesn't look like we have anything, right? It looks like click on the Vite and React logo. So actually, let's start building. Let's start building out the front end. Let's start building on the front end. I imagine simple to read, brighter colors, bright colors. We'll just say bright colors. Because if I were to run this, npm run dev here, it'll start it up. We'll run it. We'll pull it up on localhost. Yeah, there we go. So you're seeing that. Count is 0. So yeah, we're using Vite and React. Tailwind. Let's add Tailwind. Quentin, my go-to approach, Klein plus Open Router and rely heavily on plan mode before letting AI do its thing. I've been burnt too many times with AI making random changes to my code base, but hey, I have trust issues. I think for a lot of us who've been developers for a long time, the hard part with trusting AI is that I remember how bad the code was 3 years ago. And I remember how bad it was 2 years ago. And I remember how far it's come. But someone mentioned, or someone coined the phrase, didn't really coin the phrase, but I remember them saying this. It's like, we all have PTSD from watching code, like any of the LLMs, like break and not work, and specifically when it comes to writing code. So I have trust issues myself, which is why I do this. I'm trying to trust this a little bit more, which is why I'm just using Cloud Code today. We'll try some other ones in next time. But yeah, trust is hard with AI. I think the difference is that we're part of a generation of engineers, and I say this is there's pre AI and there's post AI. I have a suspicion that my children who are watching me vibe code and who are looking at this and they're building stuff with me, I think I have a suspicion that they're going to be a lot more trusting of AI. The hard part for me there is I'm I don't know where that leads to in terms of code, but with all technologies, right? Anytime there's a new technology, um, eventually you learn to trust it. You know, I don't, I drive a car. I don't know how a car is built. I can't do anything, aside from changing the oil. Is what my dad taught me when I was a kid. I can't change. I can do basic mechanics on a car. I can change the tires, rotate the tires, change the oil. But anything with the computers, anything that there's a level of trust that we have. So I think when anytime there's new technology, there's a point or a period in our time where we start to trust it a little bit more. And those who've never known differently, trust it more completely. All right, so it looks like it's still building. This is for everyone who's watching. You're probably getting really bored right now. Um, let's see. Yep, still on localhost 5173. Great question. Let me put the question up on the screen. Great question. Can I refer the points for how Postman is part of the build here? Right now, it is not part of the build. Even though I work for Postman, this is not a Postman centric build with Sterling. This is building an app. So once I get to MCP, once I get to my APIs, and once I start to do more, Postman will be playing a role in here. But that'll probably be after I've scaffolded everything. Once I start working on the back end servers, um, there might there might be a point where I'm going to be using coming up with some mock endpoints, using Postman mock servers, or I'll just use Cloud Code here. We're gonna see. So great question. Thank you for the question. Oh, I can loop the track. That's good to know. Um, I love Suno. If you're in the chat and you make music with, if you found any music, uh, AI music, I find this to be really helpful. I do a lot of instrumental music myself. Um, this is created by Suno, um, so it's a lot of fun. It's just kind of nice to have it on in the background. All right. Thank you, Run Dev. I'm already running it, so I'm gonna let 5 minutes, but I don't need to run it again. Okay. Oh, well, we got something. I got something on the screen. localhost. host, um, um, Okay, so this is the beginning. I mean, it's starting to look good. Um, because my kids don't agree with me when they say, "Oh, Dad, this is bad." I'm like, no, no, no. This is really good. We've got something, and something is better than nothing. Let's see. Make your bed. Make your bed neatly with pillows fluffed. Pending 5 points. Family leaderboard. Extra screen time, so it looks like the kids can redeem it. Pick what the family has for dinner. Oh crap! I don't know if anyone else has kids, but if I let my kids pick what's for dinner, it's gonna be pizza, chicken nuggets. Oh, my kids trying to make me pick. All right, so right sign. Um, the site doesn't look like it has everything you designed for it. Looks like nothing more than HTML. Tailwind wasn't being connected. That's the other thing I've kind of always been frustrated with AI is that it's just too nice. Um, like it's a little sycophantic. It's like, oh, you're right. No, I'm not always right. Like, come on, tell me when I'm wrong. All right, it looks like it killed that. All right, let's try running it again. All right. I'm seeing the following error. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, Paula. You kind of do have to whip it a little bit to get it back in line sometimes. That's the thing. All right, let's. The error should be gone. All right, so we'll kill it and start the dev server again. What is going on? It doesn't look like it's reading Tailwind at all. See this styled in background text Tailwind is working. I'm not seeing it with a red background. All right, now restart it. Let's just keep debugging. Of course. All right. Border box. Okay. Well, that one's going to be pretty easy. Okay, now start. The key issue is that you accidentally installed Tailwind CSS v4, which is still in development. Looks like stable 3. Okay. Error around that border. Was it border? Border. Just going to paste that. Well, of course it doesn't exist in the setup. You want me to restart it again, huh? All right. Hey, all right. Oh, we've got something that actually looks pretty good. Okay. All right. Great. Let's remove that from the app and move on to the next. Let's move on to the next part. All right. So make your bed, view all chores, leaderboards, my chores coming soon. All right. Honestly, I think this is a little. It feels like in the next hour, I think I want to simplify this a lot. I also need to not put ice in my thing. When I try to sip, I keep drinking in ice. Let's actually simplify this a lot. We could have a static. We could start by having a static list of chores for 2 kids. I'll name them John and Paul, and my name is George, and my wife's, no, I can't say my wife's name is Ringo. I probably should have done this in the beginning, and outlined it a little bit. Because it seems like this is extremely complicated for what I want to do in the next hour, because I do want to ship it, get it, build the MCP servers, and I'm going to try to cut scope a little bit. All right. Yeah, Paula. No. I'm learning this whole. I'm learning this whole streaming thing. Yeah, Paula, I agree. I think I want to make it static until chores start to get pushed off. The history, the leaderboard, those are things that would be like V2, V3. Those are long, long time. I all I'm thinking about is I want two lists, one of what one son has, one that the other son has to have. Uh, then I can go in and check them. They can take pictures with their phones, um, or their tablet or whatever they're using at the time. Or in the case of my youngest, who doesn't have any of those, I can go in and take a picture and check off that it's been done. But I think static is going to be a little bit easier. So let's see what Claude comes up with. I'd like to maybe I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes doing it, wait until 10 o'clock, and then we'll start working on the backend services and everything. All right, let's see what happens. I like this. This is better. So let's just see if it's marks complete. Okay, mark complete, verify and award points. This is John. So he has 25 points. This is a 10 point. Let's see if it updates. Yeah, well, okay. Well, that's, feed dog, completed feed dog. So it looks like what's happening here is not working in the points. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I like this though. It's starting to look good. Okay. My name is George. Fun fact, my grandpa called me George. Don't know. Don't even know where that came from. All right. Let's. Okay, so that's all working now. Let's build out the front end. The back end. Let's start building the back end. Necessary. I need to learn how to spell chin. Necessary endpoints and services. Okay, over here I'm going to close out the front end because now we're working primarily on the back end. So I'm going to see what's happening. So it's creating a .env file. Eventually what I'll need to do is when I get this .env file, I'll stop my share and I'll start putting in my own API keys, and then I'll bring you back on. Oh. There we go. I can pull that off. Okay. I'm still going, and we're just going to continue building. So please, if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, please ask. Any questions whatsoever, aside from any existential questions around the universe and things that I have no control over. But if you have any questions about what I'm doing, my setup, if you have any thoughts, something that I will say right now while we're running this run, I'm reading a couple different research papers right now. One that I think is really, really cool that I just started reading, and I'll share one that I finished earlier. But it's this, which is, let's see if you can read that. Hierarchical reasoning models. This is, the abstract is talking about where chain of thought really fails with LLMs, and why hierarchical thinking reasoning models should be the new norm, or it could be. and this one's starting to be really good. I've gone through a couple pages. The abstract's solid, so it's got me hooked. While we're waiting for this to pull up, I do want to share another one that I finished yesterday. This is done by a gentleman by the name of Tobin South. I've met him a couple times, but he talks about private, verifiable, and auditable AI systems. I'll let you read this on your own. For those who are interested on how I do all of this, I use Notebook LM. I mean, I read it, but you can see here it's balanced and private. If you don't know what Notebook LM is, by the way, um, uh, Notebook LM is one of the best ways for me to get deep research, like read these massive research papers coming out that I may struggle with some of the concepts, but I can at least get to like build an understanding. They have an audio overview. Um, Clinton was asking, "What is the paper I was holding?" This is a research paper that was recommended to me called Hierarchical Reasoning Model. These are all when I pull these up. Um, there's a place online that I where all the research papers go. ARXIV, don't know how to pronounce it, but it's right here. That's what I use. Um, so this paper right here is really, really good. Oh, I don't want that. I want it here. That paper is really good because one thing it's talking about in the paper is how do we ensure privacy and um, how do we provide verifiability and auditable AI systems? And one of the things he talks about is something that I've been thinking about for quite a long time is private RAG. Um, uh, Private RAG is something. So for those who don't know what RAG is retrieval augmented generation. It's a type of database specifically designed for AI. It uses an electronic fingerprint of sorts called a vector. When you create a vector embedding, you pass data into a vector embedding. That embedding gives it a fingerprint, and then when you embed a question or you have a question for an AI, and it take that embedding and now verify, look through the RAG database and see all that. One of the ways that he one of the things he surmises here is a way of building out a private RAG where it has your own personal information, but because you own it, the AI has no access to any of the information. So, for instance, I've been thinking around this for quite a while. When I think about MCP and security around MCP. Oh, all right. Let's see. API run. All right. So let's run this. I'll come back to this in a few minutes. So run npm run migrate. I'm gonna slowly take that. I think we need just a little bit more. Error, aggregate error. Um, I just tried npm run migrate. Audio is sounding wacky. Let me try turning off the music. Sorry for those who didn't see. I think Paula said audio is sounding wacky. How's the audio now? Is it better? Funny, I was talking about that paper, and then Quentin had a great joke for his name, Quentin Wall, but paper is 1980s. Quentin Wallpaper. That was good. All right, let's see. Oh, it's gonna run Brew. Really? Maybe it's just that I was running that music on loop. I don't know. Anyways, while this is going, I so one of the going back to what I was mentioning earlier around MCP and security around MCP, a lot of the MCP servers they want some of the private ones that I've created for myself that I run locally. I have them running where I own the refresh token and it's in a different thing. Let's see. Don't ask again for create. We'll just um, I I run the refresh tokens like for my Google refresh tokens. Those are on my own. Like I keep those. But something that I keep thinking about is if I'm trying to build an agentic, like a more of an agentic tool that can be used in an MCP server. Um, one of the things I keep mulling over is where I can store that information, and Postman flows is actually pretty cool. Where if you're not familiar with Postman flows, um, it's a canvas where you can create API applications and you can build AI agents. You can anything. There's two blocks. There's the first block, which is what if you ship it to production where you have an endpoint. Um, that's where you have the uh, request and response. Those are the two blocks. Um, let's seed it and let's see what happens. But I'm wondering if there's a way that I can create, like, have all of my API keys and any of my authorizations stored somewhere else, um, in a product like Flow, in a product like Postman, and then ship that MCP server to production, even if it's running locally on myself. Let's run it. I was already running it on the right hand side here, but I'll just let it run and see what happens with the Bash shell output. Okay, we're gonna run a health check on the back end. So going back, the idea with security and MCP, and it's something that we're going to be struggling with a lot, is ensuring that we have like AI knows who we are, and so that paper is really really good. I recommend anyone who's here to listen to it. Okay, so the front end is already running. Let's connect the back end to call these. Let's connect the front end. All right, so let's connect. Something that you have here, you notice that like its bash is going cd dot dot slash front end. One of the reasons why I like having it set up when I before I start a new project is I put start Cloud Code at the higher at a higher folder level so that it can look into all of the subsequent folders and it can cd, go into whatever it needs. That way it can really truly separate between the two. So I like doing that. Anyways, I'm gonna ask Let's see. For those who are interested, I'm going to open up real quick. Let me see. Invite. Let me go back here. Postman has a Discord server, and a lot of it is where you can find me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make this a QR code. Postman Discord. There you go. So Postman's got a Discord server. That's for those. You can try to connect with me on LinkedIn, on YouTube. I try to keep up with comments to stuff, but I am trying to be a little bit more cognizant and being more present in the Postman Discord server. There is we've created a new section called, where is it? There's a new section called AI Conversations. And that's where I'm gonna try to spend more of my time in there. So if you want to connect with me, talk to others who are using AI in AI conversations, that'd be great. So feel free to join us over there. I'm gonna stop that ticker. That ticker is gonna annoy me. All right. So it looks like it's setting up it's updating everything. It's going to be done here pretty dang quick. And then we'll come back over to here. I'm muffled again. Turn the fan off and let's see if that changes it. Polly, right now you are you are amazing for helping me keep everything up to date, or making sure that the audio and things sound good. Let me know if it's still muffled. I could try switching to a I could try switching over to a different mic real quick and switching back over. Let's do that. Switch to the Mac. All right, so that's the Mac mic, and let's go back over to my podcasting mic. Hey, UTMN football. Thank you. Thanks for joining. All right. Hey, that's Pooja. Hey, I know her. She's pretty dang cool. She's on our team here at Postman. UTMN football says, "Is this recording video? Is this record video stream?" I'm assuming, if I'm reading what you're saying, I am going. This is going to be recorded. This is a live stream, but it will everything is recorded, and it will live on Postman, or not Postman. It'll live on YouTube on my private channel, which is at Sterling Chin. So once again, QR codes. If you're interested, you want to find me on socials, you can find me. The easiest way to find me is at sterlingchin.com. All right, let's go. Come on. I got 50 minutes and I still haven't even added MCP or anything AI. This is just building a static site with MCP. Oh, Hey, did you see that? Switch user. That was cool. No chores. Oh, it changed it because it's running it on its own. All right, let me kill this one. It's going to run on 74. Localhost 5174. Guess we're going to go back. All right, let's go back and see what happened. Front end integration is now fully complete and is working. Here's what's been accomplished. Yeah, Pooja. This is fully like I haven't done anything with this UI. I haven't instructed it to do anything. This is straight up AI doing it all. I did have some explanation. I said I'd like to use bright colors. Um, it does. I have noticed it falls back on Tailwind and does a lot of that, but it looks a little bit Material UI ish. But it doesn't. It just builds it all on its own. Okay, so backend are responding correctly. Authentication flow login. Uh, Chore data being fetched from Postgres database. The Chore Tracker app is now fully functional. Okay, so as the parent, um, okay, so do this as the parent. How to add chores? Perfect. I can see there's already a manage chores tab for parents. So let me create the chores management component to handle adding new chores. I like this. Paula, that is a fantastic idea. I mean, I've been using QR codes here in the stream. So I really like that idea. My youngest son doesn't have a phone or a tablet. He's 9. And so having a QR code is going to be a little bit more difficult, but I think I, if I expect them, right, if I expect them to be doing anything, let's see. Looks like it's adding. But if I expect him to be, taking photos of it, I'm gonna have to have some way of doing it. So yeah, it's not a bad idea. We're not gonna do that today. I think we're gonna run out of time. Let's see. As a parent, George, here's how you can add chores. Go to add chores. You know what? All right, there we go. Oh, add chore. Holy crap. AI just did this. So, yep, we'll say take out the trash. We'll give that to Paul, 5 points. Due date, we'll make that due today. Details. Jeez. Okay. It added the chore. Did not create it. All right. Okay, feature dashboard overview, real-time updates, many chores immediately. I notice the issue, the core chore management component I'm passing created by field, but the API doesn't include it. Check the back end. All right, so it looks like it's updating the front end right now. This is so cool. I like this. I like this streaming service. Like I'm using Restream, by the way. Um, I like it because I can add things to the side. All right. So let's go through. Now that you can, now when you create a chore, log in as George, manage chores, add chore, create. The chore will now save successfully in the database. All right, let's try this. So I'm going to do a hard refresh here. I am George. Sign in under George. Let's manage chores. Let's add a chore to empty the dishwasher. Maybe 5 points. Create authentication required. Eee, now we're having this auth issue. All right. Authenticate. Authenticate. Wow. Oh, do I need to? All right. So it's telling me all memory is lost. It seems a little overkill for me right now. Yep. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's try it. Sign in. We'll go to manage chores. This is entirely too busy, but dishes. Give it to Paul. Create chore. It's still not keeping it. It's not persisting. Do I need to refresh? Hard refresh on this does not work. Hey, Shrawan. It's good to see you here. It's late in the evening for you. This is our friend coming from Pune, India. Good to see you. Okay. Chore. I'm going to use talk to text here. Yeah, I'm not getting any auth issues anymore. However, when I create it, it's not showing up in the list in the manage chores section, nor is it being listed in the child that the chore was assigned to. Is right. That's true. Is very right. I don't know why this is not working out still. Wait, did that just say it needs to transform between snake case and camel case? See, this is a problem that I have with AI. It's like, look, just stick with one, okay? Most databases are going to only accept snake case. So they make everything freaking snake case. Don't switch between. That's going to. This is why vibe coding stuff should probably never go to production unless it's small, like my kid's homework, one that I built last week. That's the only one that like it's shipped to production, but it's only being used by me and my family on a private website. So I'm not gonna, I'm not too worried about like little things like that. But that right there, I do not like that. That just it's frustrating. I'm a front end guy though, so camel case has always been my big thing. Yep, let's proceed. All right. So let's create a chore now. So let's hard refresh in here. Sign under George. Hey, take out the trash, dishes. Okay, I love that it said test UI display, test new auth middleware. This is fantastic. All right, let's try it. It looks like it seeded it with a little bit. So let's say read. Let's see, read research paper by Tobin South, and we'll send that to. We'll do that to John. John's on the left, I think. We'll make this 50 points. Ooh, I don't like that. Oh, I just found a problem. I do not like buttons like that. We're going to get rid of that button. Okay, so it says read research paper. Go to dashboard. It was under John. Make your bed. Oh, read research paper. There it is. Okay. Dang. This is starting to look pretty good. Not worrying about rewards, not worrying about leaderboards. So these are the only things that matter. Um, and before we keep going, I do want to add, because this is for the hackathon, I do want to add some AI into this, and I want to see, the problem with like static projects like this is that they are static, and I'm not really seeing a good way to do it. The only way I could see this being really good is if I used AI to, once the image was done, right? So once the image, like if the only way to complete a task is to take a picture of a clean sink, for instance, if they put a picture of a clean sink, and take a picture of the clean sink, um, then AI could verify, it's like, yep, that is a clean sink. And what I could do as a dad, because I always, something that I say in my family is let's get this area to square one. Let's get it like clean. Like this is what a clean kitchen, this is what a clean bedroom, this is what a bed, a made bed looks like. Um, I wonder if we could do some checks on that. That might be a lot of fun to add. But we've got half hour left in the stream, and I want to do a couple more things here. I do want to actually just ship this, and I want to get this shipped, and that's going to take some time. So we're going to, now that this is in this current state, I'm going to ship this to Vercel, and I'm going to ship this to Railway, and let's just make sure that everything is working. Because at that point, now once I'm done, I can continue. All right, we can move on. So, okay, so let's ship this to Vercel and to Railway. Get this working in production. I'll go create the repo in my personal GitHub, and actually, not I will do. I'm just going to do that now. Let's go to GitHub. Let's create new. We'll call this chore. What did we call this over here? Family chore tracker. I'll open this up. Family chore tracker, description, visibility, or make this private because we'll eventually have private stuff. Don't need to add any of that. Let's create the repo. All right, so we're going to copy this, and I'm going to have to log into Railway, and that I probably need to get some more credits from them. Hopefully I don't have to use any credits right now. Don't ask for any of that. That's fine. Yep, I am literally letting AI run my Git for me. For any of my for any of the senior engineers that used to be on my teams, you know how many times I struggled with Git commands, especially when I made a mistake and I've committed to the wrong branch, or I forgot to branch, and then I'm like, I'm coding on main, and then I have to like do all. I was horrible at all of this. Um, so I apologize to a couple of some of the best front end people I've worked with. Ricardo, you're out there if you hear this. Yeah, you were The number of times I swear I thought he was gonna like. I got a lot of face palms from him. Let's just put it that way. All right. Let's see. This is pushing it. Hey, look at that. It's got everything. Front end, back end. Sweet. With Claude. Initial commit. Oh man. Okay, the repo set up. All right. Set these environment variables. Front end will automatically provide database URL. Deploy the front end to Vercel, of course. Just log in, import it. I already have that. Set this environment variable in Vercel. Update both environment variables, authentication. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to log into Railway. I'm actually going to stop sharing because I don't want you all to see any of my stuff. So can I, nope, that's not. Let's stop my share there. All right, so let's log into Railway. I'm going to go to my dashboard, new repo. Let's see. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to share. So that way you can see what's actually happening. All right, so I logged into Railway. That's my other one. That's my production one for my homework app. New project, go to my repo. It's going to be the top one. And now it's starting to initialize. So this is one of the cool things that I like about Railway is that it's got a pretty cool interface. It's building. I can see what it's doing. But yeah, this is Railway. We're gonna make sure this is all working as expected. Building the image. All right. I'm going to ask this again because this is just deploying stuff, and deploying things takes time. So if you have any questions, feel free, hit me up in the chat. I'll share them on screen. I'd love to hear what you like, what AI tools you're currently using. If you have any questions about my AI tools, my process, what research papers I'm reading right now. Geez, just about any of it. You're welcome to ask any questions. You can turn this into an AMA. Oh, speaking of, I am going to be doing an AMA next week. So if anyone's still on this stream, I will be doing an AMA starting, was it the 22nd? Today's the 19th, so 2021, 22. Yeah, I'll be doing an AMA on Postman's discourse server, which is our not Discord discourse, which is our community. I'll be doing an AMA there for the week. You can just ask me any questions you want, and I'll answer them there. I will be pushing some posts on LinkedIn to talk about that, but unfortunately, I don't have those links with me right now. I'll be sharing those. Sorry if you heard that. I just knocked the mic. All right, so it looks like I'm deploying. I'm gonna keep working. Set the environment variable. I'll set that. Let's just deploy this to Vercel. So I'll log into Vercel here. I do have an app. Let's do. It's not. I have 8 projects because Node 18 or older. Gosh, that tells you how old some of my projects are. Oh Lord. Let's do. This was add new project. Family chore tracker. There we go. All right. So root directory. It should. Deploy to the front end. And we'll deploy. All right. So let's just go back here. Deployment's still in progress. So I'll keep going. So let's see any questions. Question from Paula: what is your worst fear with using AI unguarded? Deployment errors. CD front end npm build exited with 1. We're gonna throw that back over here. Deploying to Vercel, and the deployment ended in an error. What is my worst fear with using AI? God, that's a great question. My worst fear is that I become overly reliant and stop thinking. I know that sounds, I don't know. I need to understand what AI is doing. And if I become overly reliant on it, like in this case, I mean, you're seeing me code here, and you're asking these questions, or you're seeing me, live code, live stream all of this. I still have a need that I need to know what's happening underneath. And I think for me, my biggest fear is that I become overly reliant on it to make decisions for me, in a way that it could be detrimental in the long run. It's not just with code, like it's with anything. So great question. Mohammed, which IDE do you use for this project? Sorry, I missed the starting part. No worries, Mohammed. Thank you for joining. I am so glad you're here. I am using Cursor, and which is funny because Cursor is known as the coding IDE but I have not actually opened up um, any of the side the chat interface that Cursor has because I'm using Cloud Code in the terminal here. So realistically, I could actually just go back to VS Code with everything and let it run and do that, you know, and use VS Code. Cursor has been absolutely fantastic because it can get the context of what it's doing. Uh, but right now I'm using Cloud Code. So, Mohammed, great question. Thank you for asking. Yes. Now integrate my tow tracker repo to Postman. That's not a bad idea. We've got 20 minutes left. I do want to just get this to Vercel first and see what's going on. See if we can get this. Whoa, why is that? Let's see if I can get this working. Let's go back and check Railway. Deployment, health check failure. Okay, let's view the logs. Logs are loading. Build time. Okay. Health check failed. You reach the end. All right, so I'm gonna come back over here. All right, I've been fixed. The build now. Did it? CD front end, CD build. All right, let's kill this. I'm on the front end. Let's go status. All right. And status. Okay, commit. Fix issues where Vercel was breaking. Oop, push. I use bash commands that I have actually rewritten myself. So status just gives me is like get status, push is get push, things like that. Okay, so let's go back to Vercel and let's see if I can deploy this again. But I am gonna say I've got an error in here. No, no, that's not what I wanted. So now I've got an issue. The deploy in Railway. That gave me the same error again. Let me see all the logs. 81 packages, added 309 packages. So this is the other thing that I really struggle with. Let me zoom in a bit so y'all can see. This is the thing that I struggle with and this is where AI is going to be asking a lot of stuff, but I want to know if this were a production environment where I'm shipping to customers, I want to know what these all these packages are, and I'll end up going back and I'm going to check all these packages before my kids use this at all. Um, but all right, so it looks like it's building again. We'll let this build, build, and you know what? I'm going to try deploying it again. Oh, I do need to add the environment variables. That is something that it was telling me. So let's scroll all the way back up. All right, set this Vite API URL. So Vite API URL. I like, by the way, that Vercel, when I just copied that, Vercel knew that at that equal sign, um, it worked. So let's go back to here. And this is going to be family chore tracker. So we'll go to Vercel and we'll just make sure that it says your family chore tracker railway. Let's see if that changes it. That might actually be the problem. Oh, damn it, not again. Oh, wait, CD front end. I already said the CD is front end. I don't need to run this. I just need to run. All right. So I know what I need to do here. Front end app, node version production, front end URL. So this is going to be inside of Railway variables, add a new variable, and front end URL. That front end URL is going to be I don't know what the URL is going to be yet. Okay, let's go back here. So the issue with the build command inside of Vercel is that it's asking to CD into front end. However, I've already designated that the front end folder is where everything is located. So we don't need that CD as part of the build command anymore. All right. We're still building. So I'm going to say, any other questions? Anyone else have questions? It's not really a question, but this is a statement. You're absolutely right. This is where where it starts to be fun. And I'm assuming in this case you're being sarcastic because this is where I hate this is the part of writing code that I loathe more than anything. It has frustrated me for a long, long time. Is the deployment process. I was at a company at one point. I'll share a story while we're waiting for all this to work. Um, all right, let's status. All right, so it fixed it. So we're gonna try this again. Fingers crossed. We can deal with other issues, but that first one, it looks like we're past it. Okay, cool. Um, I was at a company, and yes, it's working. All right, so we have continued the dashboard. This is fantastic. So this, nope, that's fine. Um, we're going to copy this and we're going to go over to our front end here. So this is the app. Let's edit this and paste this in. Oh, I still need the HTTPS. All right, so this is done. That should be good. Deployment restarted. I mean, we're restarting it again. We knew this would happen because I just shipped a fix. This is also why I really do like products like Vercel and Railway, is that once I'm connected to a repo, it automatically just connects to them. Oh, but I was telling you a funny story. I was at a company, and it's not a funny story. Like, this is like PTSD, and for anyone who's there, uh-oh, there was a history. Health check failed. View logs. Wait, hold on. Deployment failed. All right. Let's okay. Um at a company that if everyone was trying to ship on Friday. All right, we had 1 week sprints. Or we had 1 week sprints and we had 2 week sprints. But the first we were doing this with 1 week sprints. Um what? Let's see. Set up other after adding the database, make sure you have the environment variables. Uh, oh, what is my session secret? Actually, you know what? Um, what in the heck? Um, when we were deploying, we had no DevOps, and so or the DevOps wasn't great, and so you'd get like 15 different teams who were trying to ship production at the same time. Um, oh, so it's just a generated secret. Okay. I'm not going to use that secret because this is on a live stream, so there's no way in hell you're gonna see that. But I'll generate one off screen and I'll come back. Um, let me stop sharing my screen so none of you see that. Stop sharing my screen. There we go. Create. Can you create another session secret since I'm live streaming? And all right, so that's where the session secret is. Let's copy and paste that in here. Again, for all those who are just joining, I am creating a new variable with the session secret, but I am ensuring that that is not part of something you can see. So we'll let's try deploying that again. Okay, it looks like it's doing health checks. And I'm trying to deploy. All right, so let's go back to sharing screen so y'all can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm back into having an issue here. The Family Chore Tracker deployment is again broken. Apply two changes. So let's apply those changes and see. Let's see if that works. Yeah, login failed. So this is live. This is the Vercel. I need to get rid of that React and TS. So while I'm doing that, um, I do need to make sure those are all connected. So let's go back to Railway. Yeah, it looks like it's going. It looks like it's working. So details. Uh-oh. Health. Okay, it looks like it was successfully built, but path health is not working. Let's go back over here and see. Okay. Well, we've got 3 minutes left. It looks like we're coming up to 11:57, or sorry, 10:57. We've got a few more minutes left. So I'm gonna end the stream here, or not gonna end the stream, but let's close out the stream here, and let's talk more about uh, the next time that we do things and everything. So I hope everyone who's here, I hope you found this helpful. We talked a lot about we're building apps and setting apps, and we talked about research papers that I've been doing or I've been reading. So all of that said, I want to thank everyone who joined the stream today. We're gonna have I hope this was beneficial. I was just trying to get this shipped and deployed. The next time I do this, maybe what I'll do is wait till the next stream, and I'll just keep building on this. Then we'll build it into build some MCP servers, add some AI to it, make sure the authentication works. We'll have real authentication, so maybe I'll bring in OAuth. Maybe in this case, we'll just expand this project as it is for those who are attended, so we can just keep this going. So we'll just say, hey, this is a family chore. We're going to build this from the ground up. So thank you so very much for all those who attended today. I hope this was again helpful. Uh, we'll end with some music. There we go. This is AI generated music using Suno. Again, the tools that I use today: Quad Code, using Cursor, Vercel to ship it, and Railway itself for the front end, Railway for the back end. The technology, the tech stack that I'm using is React, TypeScript, and Tailwind, CSS, and Node. And that's it. I really want to thank everyone else. I'm going to do the last couple of call outs here, which is I am doing a developer survey here. I'm trying to understand how you use Postman, or sorry, how you use AI in your schooling. How does where does AI fit in your workflows? What kind of workflows do you have that have been augmented by AI? So hit that up, and for the end, um, you can find me on all my socials at sterlingchin.com. So that's it for this stream. Thank you so very much for all those who, if you stayed till the end, holy crap, you spent 2 hours just listening to me jabber away at all this. But I hope you found this fun. I enjoyed it, and we'll see y'all next time.